Whether or not this goes down as the penultimate season or ultimately the final season of this series has yet to be determined. But the events of today's episode, it's going to go a long way in determining how soon this series ultimately comes to its conclusion. Again, right now it's just more a matter of time until basically I get the roster editing done that I need to get done. That'll set the stage for the beginning of our new series. But in the meantime, we continue on with the Kings, and the dream of repeating as champions is very much alive. Now, we do have a couple of things to get to in the aftermath of the last episode. First and foremost, this is the team. Of course, we reworked some of the player types, but these are the line combos that I'm going to go with. And of course, you'll notice that Savoy is on the second line. I want to try that because ideally Savoy and Genther are both snipers, whereas Grunstrom, Duchesne, and Kapari are all ideally playmakers. So we needed to change that up just a little bit. That said, of course, last episode was highlighted by the fact that we held on to Savoy, Turcotte, and Genther. And look, at the end of the day, do I consider that a rule break or a rule change? No, not really, because they were RFAs. And of course, in the real-life NHL, we've seen examples of RFAs not wanting to stay. Ultimately, they do. Our punishment was essentially not being able to sign them to team-friendly deals like we would have been able to otherwise. These contracts are already messing with us heavily and would continue to mess with the team if we ran this series for another 10 or so seasons. And if I were to do that, then yeah, probably I would have just let all of them walk, although again, there's no guarantees that all of them would have been signed. You know, there's a chance, yeah, we would have gotten 4 first-round picks, but then with Savoy, you know, would he have gotten an offer sheet? No guarantees. He might just be sitting on the sidelines right now and would have maybe eventually signed a qualifying offer. And at that point, the debate becomes, am I even allowed to sign RFAs to qualifying offers? And that's a debate we didn't have. And of course, as it is, that was only a problem in terms of players not wanting to re-sign because I was dumb and walked right into an obvious and well-known glitch where after the Stanley Cup is awarded, the season is technically over, and you do have to wait until the game confirms what the salary cap is going to be for next season, you know, in order to re-sign people, because otherwise it'll view a contract offer as you lowballing the hell out of the player because the game doesn't know what the money totals are, and yeah, then they get pissed at you. So, do I consider it a rule break or a rule change? Not one bit, to be honest, although it's something that we can debate the next time we have a very rule-heavy series like this, which we often do, because, again, extra challenge is fun. That said, a look at our defense as well now. Of course, we do have an injury, but you'll notice one new name is here, and it is not Mauricio Drury, nor is it Nick Leddy. Marcus Nudivaro was looking for a dirt cheap contract, as was pointed out in the comments section of the last episode, and I went for him, mainly because, again, we are suffering from cap issues, but the primary reason is that I signed Mauricio Drury. But for some reason, it will not let me call him up. He does not appear as being in the system. I can only presume it's because I signed him after the junior season started, which makes no sense because we, of course, have signed, you know, unsigned prospects in, you know, March or April before and let them do well in the playoffs. So, unfortunately, I should have signed Mauricio Drury. I have signed Mauricio Drury, but I can't play him. There you go. There's your evidence that he is under contract. There's nothing I can do. It's not a matter of having exempt contracts as well. That's something I tested out. He just doesn't show up regardless. Now, I know it's at 50 contracts. We have 2 exempt. He is one of the exempt. It's not for that reason. I tested it out, and as a result, we lost Brett Seney on waivers. That was my way of testing it, and it didn't work. So, you know, I could sit here and, you know what, I'll do it right now just to prove a point. It's going to mess up the AHL lines, but it's just not going to let me call him up. But again, to prove this point here, technically, let's say we have 52 players under contract right now, so I'll get rid of 2 others. And it's going to be Nick Shore and Anders Lee who get the boot. Actually, it can be Fantenberg and Lee. That's fine. We'll pair them with a 7th round pick. I need a team. There's a bunch of contracts. Oh, Edmonton. Yep, yeah, that was Edmonton. And we'll just do this little dealio here. Fantastic. So now, in theory, I should be able to have access to Mauricio Drury, and I still won't. I am willing to bet the house on it. Yeah, so we're locked out of being able to use Mauricio Drury, so in the aftermath, Marcus Nudivara is now on this team, which means Marcus Phillips is now our depth defenseman. Derek Forbort will be down in the AHL once we have our defenseman back from injury. So that's kind of a bummer that we can't use Drury. That's weird. It shouldn't work like that, but it does. It is what it is. It's my fault to begin with. I should have just signed him immediately, of course, but I didn't. So overall, I am excited to see what this team can do. Again, the reason for signing Matt Duchene is what he pulled off last year. He clearly still has gas in the tank. And I mean, he and Matt Savoy working together. I mean, Savoy he has back-to-back 50-goal seasons. So I'm fairly optimistic that Matt Savoy should be a really good player for us on that second line. He's allowed to be played on the second line. Otherwise, it would have been Genther going down. So I'm still incredibly excited to see what this team can do. It's still a phenomenal team. You could argue that Van Kadischen still deserves that second line time, and I don't disagree. But at the end of the day, I mean, that top nine is stacked. I mean, what team can compete with what we have when we're at 100%? I mean, that is easier said than done. And like I said, yeah, would it have been nice in theory if we ended up with 12 first-round picks? Sure, but there's no guarantees when it comes to Savoy, Turcotte, and Genther. You know, we would have even seen what the hell we would have gotten with those first-round picks because the series wasn't going an extra 4 years. It just wasn't going to happen at the end of the day. Obviously, the natural issue when you win the Stanley Cup is that interest, potentially starts to die down when it takes a while. I mean, you pretty much have to make that commitment out of the gates. Like, okay, how far into a series are we going to go? But facts are, some people do lose interest the second you win a cup. It's like, oh, okay, cool, you won. Let's see a new challenge. Whereas other people, of course, want to be like, no, I want to see what happens with Genther and Savoy and Turcotte for the next however many years. It's always walking a fine line, of course. That said, let's get into the season. We have a couple of other things to address really quickly. Captaincy was hotly debated. There were a lot of people nominated for assistants, but there was one man who was clearly going to be named the next captain. That is Alex Turcotte. In terms of the letter, I went with Tyler Madden. Of course, Savoy, Grundstrom, Genther nominated as well. Vince Dunn, but Cale Clay gets the letter for defensemen. So it's going to be the leadership group right now. But yeah, it was essentially unanimous. Alex Turcotte was to be our next captain. Now, we do have goals for the season as well, just in case this isn't the last year. And these come from, I believe, Devonator. It was the most thumbs-up comment. Top 5 power play in the league, win the division, and have Turcotte, Savoy, and Genther combined for 250 points. So having the three of them separated, certainly changes that outlook. But you never know. It could be more beneficial. And, of course, power play time is a very big thing for us, as power play is insane. Every member of the top 9 is there. Of course, Cale Clegg, the only defenseman in the mix right now. So, I mean, that top power play is just stupid. Genther, Turcotte, Grundstrom, Savoy, Duchene. I mean, come on. That's absolutely insane. So with that, I think we have everything covered. Let's get down to it. Let's see how this team does. I fully expect us to lose these next few games here. We beat New Jersey 5-3. We beat New York 5-3. Now we play the Islanders as well on this big Metro road trip. Cale Clay goes down to a hamstring injury, but we did beat the Islanders, so we are 4-0 on the season. Decent little start. Kind of sucks to see Cale Clay go down to injury, but Anisimov looks like he's going to be good to go, so we'll go ahead and play him on the top pairing. Hopefully he is at 100% here and we're not risking an injury by the time this game against the Blue Jackets rolls around. Of course, I'm just going to keep it from this menu here for the moment. Thank God Anisimov is 100%. So with that, how long? I don't even remember how long it said Clegg was going to be out for. Is it worth jumping into the calendar? October 17th. Now, 5 more days. So we'll stay on the calendar sim for now and make that adjustment once Cale is good to go. So we play CBJ. We get crushed 7-3. They hand us our first loss of the season. Boston is next, hosting the Bruins. Clegg's back to 100%. And we lose 8-7 in the shootout. Jesus, goaltending need not apply. That was outrageous. So a good start to the season, but we've struggled a little bit here lately. So what we're going to do is have Clegg replace... I got to go best lines. It's the only real way to do it. So we'll go best lines. I still want Clegg and Dunn together. Who has the most accurate one-time chance? That'd be Dunn. Now, Nudivara and Marsh. Ooh. They aren't a picture-perfect pairing together. That's not good. Uh-oh. Well, that can't happen because Mo Marsh, I don't want him to go anywhere. Nudivara's been kind of shaky since he got here. All right. Well, this has to happen. Marcus Nudivara, we'll see you later. You're going to get claimed, I'm sure. Yep, Marcus Nudivara claimed by the New York Rangers. So Marcus Phillips is back in. That was the immediate change to make. I didn't want to trade him to get any value for him. So that's a little bit problematic that I can't have who I would have preferred to have for that third pairing. But what are you going to do? Of course, Anisimov and Bjorn Fott. We'll leave you two together. We'll have Bjorn Fott set up on the one-timer. We know Phillips and Marsh work well together. That's pretty much how we're going to leave it. So the power play, again, we are going to have... number one, let's get Genther on that right-hand side along with Savoy. Get Kupari over there. Get Van Kadishin over there. We need to take out Kale Clegg. I didn't even see who was here or not. Oh, God, I didn't want to have to fix this. All right, so it's Grundstrom, Turcotte, and Genther. It's going to be... Let's get Duchesne there. Oh, goodness, this menu lag, though. Oh, baby. You'll love to see it. I don't even need to take out Anderson Dolan. It's Tyler Madden that we're missing here. There we go. So that's good. Do we want Vince Dunn to be the only defenseman? I'm going to try to give Anisimov that opportunity. He's not the best, offensive defenseman of the bunch, but hopefully he can develop a little bit. So Kupari... It's going to be Kupari or Genther on that right-hand side. We'll have it be Genther. That way Kupari can play center. Drop down Anisimov. There we go. That's pretty similar to how we had it set up before. I'm a big fan of that. And, of course, the penalty kill is going to be fine. The power play, all we have to do is make that one change there. The PK should be fine. So, yet again, the roster is set. Hopefully we can actually sim now without having to worry about too much, and hopefully the team actually starts winning a little bit more yet again. I mean, we're 4-2 on the season, 4-1-1 to be exact, but not having access for whatever reason to one Mauricio Drury results in our defense being the same as it was last year, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it was the best, we won the cup. Our 3-game losing streak comes to an end. Bohinski goes down. Man, these injuries so far to start the season, highly unfortunate. As Toby Bjornfot is out until January with a concussion. Good God. Good God, these injuries right now. Wow. That is something to see injuries like this right out of the gates. Now, AHL-wise as well, somebody made the point of like, oh man, why don't you have Curry in the AHL? Or why didn't you have him in the NHL? Why'd you send him back down? Again, the key thing to remember here with someone like Juha Curry is that somebody like Van Kadishin has been the exception to the rule this year, where you don't often see medium top 6 forwards that are in the bottom 6 or third pairing medium top 4 defensemen develop. It's just a fact. You look at some of the guys that we've had in this series and the Chicago series. For those of you on Patreon, you look at some of the defensemen that we have in that series right now. You just often don't see development from them when they're in those roles. So I'm attempting the new strategy of like, okay, let's play Juha Curry in the AHL, let him dominate, and then hopefully he makes it to like an 82, 83, and then he's much more valuable at the NHL level. I've talked about it before. I don't like treating a series with like, oh, okay, I know I'm done, so let me just go kind of crazy. Like, I like to keep things in order as they were, just in case by some random chance we do actually continue things. So It's kind of the thought process behind that as far as why we sent down Curry and, in favor of having Matt Duchene on this team, which I very much stand by, and a 9-2-1 record, at least so far, seems to indicate that might not have been the worst decision in the world. Now, of course, we'll keep an eye on our big three. We'll keep an eye on the division lead. Of course, it's looking decent thus far, although we do drop a game to Arizona, then beat Nashville 10-1. In top 5 power play, I'm hopeful it's pretty much an automatic. But super frustrating that we're not allowed to sign Mauricio Drury. I don't understand why. Yeah, it's the first thing I went to do. It's like, oh, okay, I'll take care of all the stuff behind the scenes, and all of a sudden I ran into that trouble, and it's like, oh, cool. Alex Turcotte goes down to a shoulder injury. That's going to hurt the 250-point thing. All right, I don't know if that 250 thing's happening at this point. It's 9, 10, 11. Okay, we need to call up a forward. Do we give it to Duham? Drake is a healthy scratch. Drake's a healthy scratch. Could have gone with Jordan Wheel, but I know Drake is a healthy scratch at the AHL level, so not that I plan on him being my top center, but he just might be. He just might be. Drake, congratulations. You're going to get one hell of an opportunity with Toby Bjornfot and Alex Turcotte both down to injury right now. Oh, wait, was he not? Was he actually? Oh, he was in the team? Oh, because of an injury, he was in the team to begin with. Damn it. Let's get Albrecht back in there, actually. That's who should have been in there in the first place. Perfect. It worked out. Never mind. We're fine. So let's see. Albrecht. There we go. Just came back. Perfect timing. We did lose to Tampa 6-3 in that game where Turcotte went down. We beat Montreal, and we beat Florida as well. So 21-4-2. That is a phenomenal start to this season. I can't help but check. Can I please have access to Mauricio Drury now? No? Okay. Well, he's just not going to be able to be signed. That sucks. It also burns a year of ZLC, but at this rate, at this point in time in this series, it's probably not going to be a factor. But yeah, we know on the trade screen he shows up as being under contract, but what are you going to do? Let's continue onward, shall we? In terms of looking at the team, in terms of looking at the standings, stuff like that, we'll have plenty of time to do that. In terms of trades at the deadline, there's really not much we can do. Point of today's episode is just let's see if we can get through the regular season. Drake. 2 points in 3 games, but a +6. Good job, Drake. Proud of you. Strong performance. So Turcotte has 33 points in 25 games. Genther has 44 in 28. Matthew Savoy is crushing it. Duchene, 28 points in 27 games. Rasmus Kupari still looking good. I'm very happy with that. Duchene might not end up with 107 points this year, but all in all, I still think he was a player that was worth going after at the time. And again, what he could potentially bring to the team. Of course, we didn't look at Van Kadishin and whether or not he suffered from being, down on that third pairing. There's a chance that he has, but at the end of the day, I still think it's worth it for this absurd amount of team depth and the weapons that this roster possesses as we, finally get back in the win. I don't want to say finally back in the win column. Michael Albrecht cannot stay healthy. Good Lord. Cale Clegg cannot stay healthy. He's going to be out for the rest of the month. That means Derek Forbert's back in the lineup, but we have won 3 straight games before losing to Winnipeg. We also lose to Vegas before beating Anaheim. Albrecht back in the lineup. It's going to be Nick Shore that we need to take out. Is Albrecht the center? Yes, he is. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and do that. Get him back in there. So again, this team's still set up to be pretty damn competitive. But the biggest punishment, obviously, was if this series were to continue long-term. Garrett, are you... Oof. He's not good at the NHL level, but that's a tremendous depth option for us. Yes, please. That said, I am not trading Kata Hat. Not doing it. In terms of continuing this series, if we were to continue this and say, okay, we got another 10 years in this, would I have let those big players go? Yeah. Or, more than likely, Wow, that top pairing. More than likely they would have been traded. That's really the only way to look at it. I think, a move absolutely would have been necessary because that is just way too much cap to commit to 3 players. We're not going to be successful with that much cap being committed to just 3 players alone. So with them being RFAs, we'd still have the rights to trade them. So it made sense. Like, okay, short term, bring these 3 back, try to win another cup this year, and then potentially move on from them anyway, even without the whole contract re-signing debacle. It's just something that was likely to happen. That said, it's January 1st. We are in first place in the division. We are the top team in the NHL right now, and we're going to keep going. Like I said, in terms of what we have to do in this episode, it's sim, and sim some more, because in terms of trades, what moves are we possibly going to make unless we have a big-time player suffer a season-ending injury? Duchesne goes down to injury, but we're still looking pretty good. Mohamed Bahinski suffers another injury for the Ontario Reign. Marcus Phillips goes down. Okay, we might not suffer a season-ending injury, but half of the team can end up going down at the same time. That's fantastic. Let's get Matt Duchesne back in here. And then defensively, are we good? Phillips is still out, unfortunately. So Forbertson on the third pairing. 7-6 win over Philadelphia. Mohamed Bahinski. Honestly, I might keep you out because Pilon, call him what you will on. He is looking okay. But we'll get Bahinski in there, someone who has an outside chance at being useful, but more than likely will not be. We absolutely destroy Anaheim. Why couldn't this have been the year? Wow, we suck on Sundays, don't we? We've lost 4 straight games on Sunday. Why couldn't this have been the year? Ooh, 3 losses in a row. Where we were judging how we're doing against California teams. Because we've done pretty well against our Californian compatriots. As the Rangers fire their head coach, I am not trading Rasmus Kupari. Despite owning a William Karlsson jersey, I don't want him on my team. Thank you very much. So let's make sure that we get Mr. Phillips back in here. 81% locker room chemistry. That's looking pretty damn good, too, despite some of the moves that we've made. Of course, our first year without Anze Kopitar in this series as well. So, Marcus Phillips this year, 6 points, +5. It's pretty good. Again, you look here at Mo Marsh and Phillips, like they're both solid. They're just a good third pairing option. Like, yeah, can I get somebody better than Marcus Phillips? Sure. But why bother? He's been fine. Toby Bjornfot, he's been good. Only played 22 games, though. Anisimov has been amazing. As has Vince Dunn, as has Cale Clegg. Like, the big 3 defensemen are carrying us right now, absolutely. Forward-wise, Carl Grundstrom's been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He had 93 points last year. He now has 66 and 51. He's a +32. Alex Turcotte, also looking amazing right now. 66 points in 48 games. Of course, he had 99 points last year. He has already scored as many goals this season as he had in all of last year. And Dylan Genther has also been fantastic. Already has more points than he did last year. Let's take a look here. Matt Savoy, 37 goals, 61 points on a tremendous pace, all things considered. Matt Duchesne, not quite on the pace he had last year. You could argue, would you rather have Curry in and Van Kadishin in the top 6? Maybe. Rasmus Kupari has also been pretty decent, 45 points in 51 games, and the second line's very good. Tyler Madden's been amazing. Anderson Dolan's been great, and Van Kadishin's still scoring. So, you look at these forward lines, it is a murderer's row. And Sean Corrali coming back, he's been amazing on that fourth line this year. Everything's looking great for us right now. And, of course, goaltending-wise, Carter Hart's looking pretty good. Obviously, the big thing here, heading into next season, if there is one, and Kalanos has been an okay backup, is that Carter Hart's contract is up. How expensive is he going to be? That's the million-dollar question. What does the future have in store for one Carter Hart? In terms of this team and what they could look like heading into next year, Hart doesn't want to re-sign. So, right now, the choice is clear. We're going for it. If there is a next season, though, which I don't know if there will be, we're looking at rebuilding. We're absolutely looking at a rebuilding process because Carter Hart doesn't want to sign. Which means at that point, Vince Dunn is on 2 out of the 4 years on a no movement clause, so Vince Dunn would be staying. I mean, really, the defense, the top four would probably still be intact. Obviously, Mauricio Drury would probably join Mo Marsh on the third pairing. It's still so friggin' stupid that I can't sign him right now. But all in all, the defense would stay the same. But forward-wise, that could be where you start to look and say, who's got to go here? Because Duchesne would obviously go. But you look at the amount of money, there would have to be changes. And like I said, that top three would absolutely screw us. I mean, Tyler Madden wants to come back. He's going to want to get paid. $15 million to work with, though. So it'd be very interesting in terms of what the goaltending picture would look like heading into next season. But we'd still have a couple of years, maybe, to be competitive, even without Carter Hart. I mean, hell, he helped get us there, but we won the damn Stanley Cup without him. I mean, through the final series and a half or so, we made it work. Final game of the month, we absolutely destroy Anaheim. Let's go to March 1st. Like I said, in terms of trading, unless there is a crucial injury here, I don't see myself making any moves. I think especially, too, the forward depth that we have with the young prospects in the AHL, we don't need to make a move. Whether it be Juha Curry or somebody else, we can easily call somebody up. Defensively, that depth is a little bit shaky because obviously Phillips is a depth defenseman who is currently in the full-time lineup. But all in all, never mind what I said about California teams, by the way, after what just happened against San Jose. But all in all, I mean, Phillips has been amazing. I don't really see the need to kind of push him out of the defensive pairings as Ryan Murray and Joey Keane are on the move. I'm going to sim the deadline day. Maybe we'll take a look around, but this team obviously has been insane. I did not want to trade Carter Hart. I mean, again, it would be great to have our young defenseman, as Max Comtois has been dealt for a first-round pick. It'd be fantastic, phenomenal. I'd be overjoyed to have our best young defenseman, who is in junior, but that's just not allowed. So looking here, again, Drury, still at an 80 overall. Of course, then Clements, too. I've said it, a million times. There's never a great time to end a series. There just isn't, because unless you hit the 25 years, because there's always the question of what could come next. But unfortunately, I just, again, there always has to be a stopping point. Like, what are we going to do? Go out and get Cam Fowler? No. No. I mean, it's the third pair. Our top four defense is intact. We're fine. And Kalanos deserves the chance to be the backup for the full season. So let's move on. Past deadline day, into the month of March. And we'll see how this goes. As it stands, win the division. We are the top team in the NHL, although New Jersey is gaining on us a little bit. But this is shaping up to be one hell of a regular season by the time it's all said and done. And we're going to see exactly how this one plays out. We beat Colorado. We beat Chicago to kick off the month. Florida next. Didn't see how good they were, but we win that one as well. And St. Louis, it's a shootout loss. I actually want to back out to this other menu. I like going game by game through the month of March. So Minnesota, solid team at this stage. This could be a bit of a tough game here on the road. We lose 3-1. Winnipeg also a really solid team. That is a 5-1 win. Dylan Genther hits 100 points in 69 games. Detroit's next. Meh team. Playoff aspirations still. We beat them 4-0 to hit the 100-point mark on the season. Centurions, you'll love to see it. Nashville, really good team. We lose 2-1. Edmonton, team at this point. We beat them 3-1. Good stuff. So midway through March, see what we have. We have clinched a playoff spot. The first team, I would presume, in the NHL to do so. New Jersey has also clinched. They are now just 4 points back, each team, with 10 games remaining. So Vegas is next. Decent shot still at making the playoffs. That's going to hurt them quite a bit, though. Vancouver, solid team as well. 7-5 loss. Defense wasn't exactly on point in that one. We have clinched the division title. So that is one of our goals for the season out of the way. Fantastic stuff there. 102 points. Wow. New Jersey really forcing our hand here. We need to win to keep pace over them for the President's Trophy. We lose to Buffalo. New Jersey now just 2 points back. Each team, again, with 8 games to go. Not 8 games to go, 7 games to go. Math is easy. Chicago, can we get win number 50 on the year? The answer is yes. New Jersey dropped points. Fantastic. So Edmonton's next. Another, again, just struggling team at this point. This needs to be a win, and it is 8-3. Arizona also below 500, but it's a 4-3 loss. We are 2 points clear with 4 games left. We have struggled against San Jose all year long. Can we get a crucial win here? Yes, we can. 4-1. We are now 3 points clear. So a win here will pretty much do it. If we beat the Calgary Flames, that should pretty much seal the President's Trophy. Yes, I thought that was going to be a major NHL injury. Kip Powell in Ontario goes down. That is a win. New Jersey has clinched the Eastern Conference. We're on 112 points. We have clinched, essentially, the President's Trophy, unless there's a crazy run from Dallas. But even then, no, I don't think they got it. How have we not officially clinched the... I mean, yeah, you got 3 games left. So, I mean... Yeah, no, I guess we need 1 more point. Yeah, the math works out. As long as we win one of our last 2 games, we have won the President's Trophy. Colorado, it's a loss, but that'll do it. The LA Kings have clinched the President's Trophy in what could be their final season. We do end the season out the back of 2 overtime losses, 1 to Colorado and 1 to Vancouver. But that is one hell of a way to end a season. And one hell of a way to head into the playoffs as defending champions, although I'm getting Bruins in 2012 vibes, so keep Braden Holtby away from me. I mean, we were dominant. Vegas on 88 points. That is who will be playing in the first round. The LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights will square off. Vancouver will play Calgary. Anaheim sucked. In the Central, it'll be Dallas and Nashville, Winnipeg, and Minnesota. In the Atlantic, we have Tampa and Ottawa, as Toronto will be playing Columbus. New Jersey plays Buffalo, and Carolina will play Pittsburgh. So overall, there you see it, top team in the league by 1 point over the Dallas Stars. Goals for per game. We had the league's best offense. Defensively at a 3.09 goals against per game. That is the lowest number in the league as well. Our power play was not the best in the league, but it was top 5. It was 5th best. So that is another goal in which we were successful in. We're 2 for 2. We'll still have to check the point totals, but we indeed had a top 5 power play by 1.5% over Arizona. Our penalty kill at 70. Ooh, that was actually kind of good. Penalty kills were down this year. It was mid-table. Not too shabby. So point total-wise, let's get a look at this beautiful team, shall we? I want to go to Edit Lines first and foremost to look at this. So we'll start things off with Carl Grundstrom. Fantastic season. I mean, again, you talk about a move, or at least a move that we didn't make. There was justifiable cause to say that Carl Grundstrom should have been traded, and I screwed up when I didn't trade him at the draft. But look at what Carl has done since. He is nearly a point-per-game player. And I mean, he's been, I'm talking career. The past 4 seasons, he's been a point-per-game player. Unbelievable. This being, the peak, perhaps, at 29 years old. He has been amazing. And in the playoffs last year, he was amazing. And if he keeps playing at this level, I mean, I'll have the freedom to trade him at the end of this season, which I might need to, but damn, Carl Grundstrom is one of the key players to this series and might have a good shout at being a Channel Hall of Famer. Alex Turcotte. I mean, Jesus, dude. Now, obviously, that contract is rough because I didn't have the chance to properly negotiate it because of that glitch. But that said, one of the 3 key players for this season, and he just continues to get better. And he's over a point a game now in his career. So season 1, 48 points in 82 games. Season 2, he's looking good. Season 3, he drops off a little bit. But ever since then and over the past 4 seasons, he has been incredible. Guaranteed 90 points in the bank. 110 points on his own this season. 21 of them on the power play. So he was a 5-on-5 god. Unbelievable. Plus 55, 41 goals for Turcotte. Again, between Turcotte, Savoy, and Genther, we needed 250 points. This is like Family Feud. Turcotte, you need 200 points. Oh, Turcotte got 100 on his own. Like, he's crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. And again, he was amazing in the playoffs last year when we won the Stanley Cup. So, captain, my captain, Alex Turcotte's fantastic. And then Dylan Genther. 119 points. So, oh my God. So, as long as Matthew Savoy put up 21 points, I think we're okay. So we hit all 3 goals for the season. Unbelievable, Dylan Genther. His 4th season in the league, 2 70-point seasons, a 90-point season, and now 119 points, 54 goals. Absolutely insane. And again, he was, integral in us winning the Cup last year. That top line is insane. And I'm so glad I made that decision to change it up. As we get a look at Matthew Savoy, who nearly hit 100 points on his own as well. All 3 of them nearly hit 100 points, and they didn't play with one another. So, if Savoy was playing on the top line, I think they all would have hit 100 points. That is now 3 straight 50-goal seasons for Matthew Savoy. He's just insane. He is absolutely insane. 56 goals now for Savoy. Matt Duchene, the numbers dropped a little bit from last year, but still 75 points in 78 games for $3 million. Say what you will. I have no regrets over signing Matt Duchene, at least right now. Unbelievable season for him, given the circumstances. That is such a steal of a deal. And then Rasmus Kupari as well was also fantastic. Another 70-point season. That's now 3 straight for him. Under 20 goals, but the assist went up, which was crucial for his success. Third line, Tyler Madden. He earned a letter, and for good reason. He has been an elite third liner and power play specialist. What else can you say? Just shy of another 30-goal season, but 65 points. Unreal. Unreal what Tyler Madden's meant to this team. Jared Anderson-Dolan really picked it up again. He was brutal in the postseason last year. Brutal. But he rebounds this season. 4 straight 20-goal seasons now. 60 points. Nearly a career high outside of his rookie season with us in 21-22. And then Rick Van Kadishin. Is he going to slow down? A little bit, but he was still amazing for a third liner. That power play time really helped kind of balance out the points. And adding Matt Duchene into the mix helps a lot. And, of course, you want to talk about the options here. That top 6 is pretty much locked in, but that third line's insane. And then the fourth line, good God. Austin Wagner, 35 points again. So certainly a return to form. Last year in a contract year, he struggled. He was much better in the playoffs. This year, again, back over the 30-point mark on the fourth line. He's crazy. Sean Corrali replaced his Mike Amadio. Struggled at times last year. Stepped up in the playoffs a bit, and now look at what he's done for us. 32 points this season. That's, again, tremendous. And Matt Luff didn't want to come back. We pick him up in free agency for dirt cheap compared to what I initially offered him. 35 points. 35 points. What a fourth liner for us. This team is unreal. Defensively, Cale Clegg, 36 points and a plus 36 to boot. Tremendous. So, point total was down a little bit. But overall, again, with that plus-minus, I am extremely happy. And, of course, what, he meant to us in the postseason last year, eating up big minutes. Vince Dunn, 40-point season, a career high for him, a plus 47, which is amazing. Jakub Anisimov, a plus 59. Third-year pro. That is stupid. So stupid. And Toby Bjornfot, 17 points down from prior years, but a plus 19. Very happy with that as well. Third pairing, Mo Marsh, 26 in the plus-minus department, 12 points. Very happy with that. Of course, he's never been a big point guy. He has 14 career points, but he is a career plus 30 in 2 seasons. And Marcus Phillips as well. Don't know why he works so well with Mo, but over the past 2 seasons, they've been incredibly solid as a third pair. Goaltenders, Kolanos. Let's hope he performs better in the playoffs. But Carter Hart has a really good shot at the Vezina. And again, what could be his final season here. Forbort ended up playing 34 games this year because of the amount of injuries, but he was ridiculous. A plus 27. That is crazy. And then Drake, 4 points in the plus 6 in 13 games. Pretty good. It's pretty good. And down in the AHL as well, just to look at this here. So like Juha Curry did incredibly well in the AHL next to Corey Hill. Albrecht did well despite injuries. Duhaime crushed it. So it's not really that surprising that, some of our prospects that we left there would do really well. Kip Powell nearly had 60 points in 62 games. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then Manderville and Twamainen were both amazing. So the Ontario Reign have a pretty good shot at a deep playoff run here as well. Let's take a look around the league at the point totals. And we'll go from there. We'll wrap things up for this one. But yeah, damn, this team. It's always nice when a super team performs as advertised, but now we got to see if they can do it in the playoffs. As Jacques Hughes did pretty well. Man, scoring looked to have been up this year, and we were certainly a team that benefited from that fact. Bobby Brink crushed it. Ali Ness up there for Toronto. And then assist-wise, Grunstrom led the league in assists. And then plus-minus, King. It's a really good way to start. For defensemen, the leader was Provorov in Winnipeg. Not too bad on his part. Goal-scoring leader was Jake Sanderson. Scott Perunovich was also up there. For goaltenders, the winningest was Carter Hart. Shutout king was Askarov with 5. Save percentage leader, Carter Hart just won the Vezina. Undeniable. And for the rookie race, it is Dominic Peter. He's real. 43 points for the Avs. So a very good start to our title retention campaign. But now it gets serious. It gets real. Playoff time. Vegas in the first round. We said, hey, winning the cup, good time to end it, but we marched on. Winning another one. That could really set the stage for a damn good ending. Thank you guys for watching, for supporting me, for supporting this channel. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you did enjoy. I will see all of you soon, I do hope, in the next one. You know the deal, though. Support the video, like, subscribe, check out everything in the description if you haven't already done so, which, of course, includes all the socials, the Twitch, where we stream every single night, the Discord, the Teespring, some rework shirt ideas up there, kind of reworked that, still looking at getting the merch under control, but there's some stuff up there as well if you want to, if you want to, for some reason, rock a shirt that has my face on it. Feel free. You could totally do that. It's a possibility. And a shout out to those of you on Patreon as well. I love you all. I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Stay safe. I'll catch you next time.